Well, yeah, they were having the tournament. That was a real tournament, and those fans that we love so much that we've joked about for years, they are really there to see a tournament to promote the movie.
Idiots. All right, ATG and AT. I'm Ronnie. He's Blake, and today we're going to talk one of the craziest movies ever. Over the Top. Blake, this was your idea. Go ahead and defend yourself.
This is one of the greatest movies ever. Absolutely ever. One of the best Stallone movies ever. And I think it should get the 21 Jump Street treatment, and they should remake it today. And it would make $100 million.
Explain 21 Jump Street treatment. Because before you say anything, 21 Jump Street was a serious cop teen drama show on whatever channel. I don't know. I never watched a single episode.
And what did it get remade to by Jonah Hill?
They remade it into a buddy comedy action movie.
There you go. So get Danny McBride as Lincoln Hawk. Get a bunch of characters in there. Get The Rock as Bull Hurley. And let's rock and roll.
The Rock is Bull Hurley is
money. That's money.
Best idea I've ever heard when it comes.
You know what? You know what? It's probably got. Does The Rock have to be Lincoln Hawk?
No, he doesn't have. I think it's better if The Rock is Bull Hurley, and he should do this with his new production company. He's already doing a remake of Big Trouble in Little China or a sequel or something. He should do Over the Top and make himself Bull Hurley and put somebody as Link Hawk. Who could you put as Link Hawk?
You know, I'm a big Danny McBride guy. I think he should be Dalton in a Roadhouse remake. I don't know. Like, I got John Cena on the brain now as one of the guys he's got to beat, maybe in the bar. The smasher that he has in the bar before they even get to Vegas. John Cena's got to be one of those characters. If you and I write this movie, it's just full of wrestlers and football players. Gronkowski's got to be in it somewhere. I would probably have Tom Brady as the exciting announcer at the end. Double elimination tournament. It would be loaded with cameos.
That would be ridiculous, but that's the second best casting choice you could make for this movie. Tom Brady as the goof at the end of it. Was he really the announcer for the Over the Top tournament that they held?
Yeah. All right, hit him with the plot. 1987, Over the Top.
Sylvester Stallone has to win an arm wrestling tournament to get money so he can get his kid.
Yeah, a deadbeat dad.
Definite deadbeat. Because this dude rolls into graduation at the very beginning of it late. He took time to wash the truck.
Well, wants it to look nice.
And to comb his hair. He was an hour late for the graduation. Wouldn't the good thing have been park the truck down the street dirty, walk up with your suspenders on, and actually see your child graduate? Wouldn't that be a better thing than just rolling up late with the only form of information or proof that this is your son is a wedding photo? He had zero photos of him with that kid.
Well, I use this excuse on our podcast all the time. It's the 80s. It worked for Kurt Russell in Overboard. It's going to work for Stallone in Over the Top. Yeah, you're right, though. Suspenders is his go-to outfit. He does it at graduation. He does it for the hospital scene, and he does it for the funeral.
Maybe he used to be overweight.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Britches are too big?
Got it.
So he's walking up to graduation, and you and I talked about this off camera. All the other parents are like turning around and saying, who is that? And
what is that? What
is he doing here? And the soldiers walking by are, everybody's giving this guy a double look. And it's just like, and I asked you, I was like, what are we doing? Why?
They want to know who let the janitor outside around the normal people.
You think that's what it is? Like, this is a rich person's academy/graduation, and they can immediately tell he's poor. My thing is like
he had suspenders made out of old socks.
Who are these people to just turn around and say, "Who is this?" You know, that really bothered me.
It's like when me and you go out to eat. Look at that scumbag right there. That's all they're doing. They're just people watching.
There's hundreds of cadets graduating, and you got to figure each cadet, unless it's us, is going to have a lot of family there. So before you get into it, I have a really problem with like the writing. That sounds
terrible. Really?
I have a real problem with the first 10 minutes of before you say, I have a real problem with the first 10 minutes of this movie. How they try to make us feel sorry for Sylvester Stallone. He shows up at his son's graduation, and later you find out he hadn't been in this kid's life in 10 years. You find out Michael's 12, and Michael at one point says, you think you can make up for 10 years in the last 2 days? So that means he left when he was 2.
Yeah.
He hadn't been in this kid's life, and the kid's being mean to him, justifiably, by the way, like being short with him. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be.
The kid's the worst.
The kid is the worst, but you can't blame him for the way he's acting. I don't want to be in this nasty truck with this nasty guy who's abandoned me, who I don't know. Hey, Mike, look at the pictures, man. Look at the pictures I got of you. No, but they try to make you feel sorry for Sylvester Stallone. Like he hasn't been a piece of trash for 10 years. And when Mike says later on they're bonding, Dad, I'm going to ask you a question. Don't get mad at me. Why'd you leave us? He goes, I have my reasons. I mean, what is that?
Well, later on in the movie, Michael says, my grandfather told me you were dealing drugs. And he never, ever denies that. So is there a chance, and we talked about this on our podcast, is there a chance that Sylvester Stallone was a drug dealer and Robert Loggia told him to scram out of here, you deadbeat, and then he just stayed away, and the way he fixed his life up was to be a trucker?
Robert Loggia makes a comment toward about 3/4 through the movie. He says,
you're a nobody.
You're a nobody. You lost everything. You've already lost everything. And I, saying it out loud now, it probably meant, you lost your family, but I like to think that
he's in crypto.
He gambled his money away. Because he's about to do that at the end of this movie if he don't win. He's about to lose his truck, how he makes his money, and he's about to lose everything.
Yeah, this whole Robert Loggia thing, you would think he would have had the lawyer on standby. I don't know. Okay, real quick. Here's your plot recap, and then we're out of here to talk about characters. Link Hawk has been away from his kid for like 10 years. Yeah. The mom is dying in the hospital of reasons unknown, AIDS. And she concocts a plan for him to go pick up Michael and bring Michael across the country in the truck, hoping they'll bond.
Yeah.
There's your plot.
So you said Link Hawk, and they call him, a lot of guys in the bar, the truckers, the gas station attendants, the waitresses, a lot of people say, hey, Link. Mm-hmm. Subtitles spelled
Sausage Link.
Subtitles spelled it Linc. And I don't know why I was thinking about Brendan Fraser.
Meat group.
But shouldn't it be Link? But I guess if it's short for the Lincoln, it would be Linc, wouldn't it?
Yes, Lincoln Hawk.
But let's talk about the last name. He's called Hawks the whole movie. By Bull, by everyone. Like, a lot of people say, hey, Hawks. And I know his truck is Hawks Hauling, but his name is Lincoln Hawk. So what's the deal with that?
I just assume they don't know his name. This is like and here's the deal. I think going back to your writing complaint, I think on the script, sometimes it says Link, sometimes it says Lincoln, sometimes it says Hawk, sometimes Stallone. It says Hawks, sometimes it says Stallone. Hey, Sly.
Hey, Rocky.
You can't put a lot of stock into a movie that would have never gotten made if Sylvester Stallone hadn't agreed to it. And Sylvester Stallone would have never agreed to this movie, but they offered him $12 million.
You want to talk about what they were about to do? Don Johnson. Does that not sound amazing?
Dude, when I read that Don Johnson was set to star in this movie, all I could picture at the end, and I started laughing, was Don Johnson, David Sims,
slamming them down,
sleeveless shirt, arm wrestling with a hat on backwards, Bull Hurley.
All I can see is him and Eastbound and Down saying,
Let's talk about the characters in this movie. The majority of this movie, all of this movie, except for the last 10 minutes, is them driving across the country. And you would think he would have all kind of things set up and ready to impress his son. But it's like he don't even want to, it's like he's supposed to just show up and Michael's supposed to say, oh, Dad's back. He brings nothing to the table other than calling his son a spoiled brat whenever things get tough. What did he expect to happen? Did he expect the son just to go, hey, Dad's back? He's a moron.
Yeah,
the more I think about it, Robert Loggia is the face.
That's my point, Ronnie. Like, we're supposed to feel sorry. Like, I watched this movie as a kid and felt sorry for Stallone. And, like, well, I want the son, just give him a chance. Watching this as a 35-year-old adult, I'm like, screw this guy, you know? I mean, do you even have a house? What are you doing? You just want $1,000 right there at the bar. You can't get us a hotel. You can't get us 87. You can't get us a $38 hotel for the night. I got to sleep in this truck that don't have a sleeper, by the way.
No, they're just sleeping in the chairs, and he's got to get up and work out with him. You feel strong? We're introduced to the arm wrestling aspect of the movie when the Smasher walks up.
All I've been hearing on the road lately is this Hawk is a man to beat.
Can't believe everything you hear.
I don't believe anything.
And says, you want to go?
I've heard about you. Don't believe everything you hear. I don't believe nothing. I'm the Smasher.
He tells his kid time to go to work because he got to go make it grand. Then you're introduced to the heel of the movie, Bull Hurley. I used to think jacked up, instead fat. But a thick, like a fit. Is there such thing as a fit
thick
fat?
Boy. He's a thick boy. Yeah, paid him $10,000 to shave his head. By the way,
and he never grew his hair back after that. I would love to see him with hair. You think he had a mullet?
Oh yeah.
So we find out
Richard Simmons.
Find out Link Hawk is an arm wrestler, and he's on this underground arm wrestling circuit where all these arm wrestling matches take place. Apparently at truck stops, and he's looking to make it to Vegas where he plans to win the tournament so he can start his own trucking company. Bull Hurley goes, let's go right now, double or nothing. He goes, I'm going to wait to Vegas. You ain't got a prayer in Vegas. And I'm like, you guys are in the same weight class? And then you find out later at the end of the movie, there's no weight classes. None. It's just, it don't matter if you weigh 115 pounds like Sylvester Stallone or 315 pounds like Bull Hurley. Everybody's against everybody. Oh, yeah, the mom dies, by the way, on the way back through.
No, well, you know, the grandfather sends a couple of hitmen to try to kill Michael. They run him off the road. Stallone dies. You tell him he's staying with me. You know,
he's not, dude. You don't have custody of anything.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean, a lot of the story.
He's staying with me. You have one job as this deadbeat father. Take him to the mother before the mother dies. And guess what? He's late to that. He shows up to the mom's funeral late.
They get to the hospital. Dude, he's late for everything. He's late for graduation. We get to the hospital, and how about the doctor? The nurse goes, can I ask who you are? I'm her husband. Goes over, whispers to the doctor. Doctor goes up, your wife's dead. Michael runs out in the road crying, blames him. I would have got to see her if we could have flew here. We had to ride in a stupid truck. Then they're at the funeral.
Hey, so you want to arm wrestle and make you feel better?
Out from behind the trees, like the shape, here comes Suspenders walking up with his flowers, interrupts the funeral, makes it all about him. Everybody looks at me, throws the flowers down on the casket, and then walks away. He don't even stay.
He's the worst.
He don't even stay to check on his son after the funeral. Got to get to Vegas. We got to go.
And then when you get to Vegas,
that's when it's go time.
Well, he has to sign over the son first.
Okay. So you're right. He shows up at the grandfather's house. He drives through the gate. He drives his truck through the front of the house. Robert Loggia's loaded, by the way. He's got to be in the drug business.
What is Mr. Cutler? What is his job?
I don't know. He
buys Link Hawk a $250,000 rig just to go away.
No, he gives him 200. He offers him 250 grand a check for 250K and a truck, right?
Yes, this is after Link Hawk, what you were trying to say before I interrupted you. Link Hawk drives his truck up there and tries to get to the boy. They're going to put him in the pen now, but he refuses to press charges if he'll sign over custody to the boy, and he does it like it ain't no big thing because I got to get to Vegas.
Well, in the character's defense, he wasn't going to do it until Michael came to visit and said, I don't know what to do. I can't stay with you. When Michael says that, that's when he signs it over because he knows, it's over.
So how does this all work out at the end of it? He goes through this tournament, and these characters in this tournament are amazing.
Michael finds the letters that he wrote him and leaves the house, steals a car, drives to the airport, flies to Vegas.
Private plane?
I
don't always assumed a private plane, but did he flew like a regular plane, I guess. Regular flight.
I'm a pilot. I can fly.
He's wearing stupid white pants.
You got to get to the tournament, though, and all the characters, because it is insane.
All right, real quick. Favorite characters from this tournament?
Okay, not counting Hurley or Hawk.
No, that's a given.
There is a very jacked guy. I think his name is Mad Dog. He kind of looks like Wolverine. He's good. But there's another guy who kind of looks like Hercules Hernandez, who is just getting absolutely smoked by his manager. Like,
oh, yes. The guy.
It is insane. So the guy who drinks the motor oil is the guy with the beard. He's also the one who gives Hawk his first loss. Grizzly, yeah, and he eats the cigar.
Yeah.
This guy right here, it's the winner take it all montage. That's when it's just insane slaps. And like I rewound that 100 times. It is fantastic.
The training montage, the whole video that they go through, winner take it all.
I love
or the arm wrestling.
Great soundtrack.
Is 80s cheese to the max, and I'm here for every single bit of it.
Great soundtrack. Lots of good songs in this. Of course, we can't play them on here, but subtitles gave it away. When he walks in that bar at the beginning of the movie for the first arm wrestling, subtitles said, this song is sung by Frank Stallone. I love that.
So Hawk and Bull Hurley are set for the main event of this tournament.
Can we talk about the promos leading up to it, though? Like, they did they went with the wrestling gimmick, and they interviewed each arm wrestler.
And all I want to do is hurt him, cripple him, get him off the table, and so he never dares try to compete against me again.
And no.
Well, see, I see where you're going with the when I think wrestling gimmick, I'm thinking the screen in the background and like them just screaming. This was more like The Office. But I think The Office was inspired by these promos that Bull Hurley and Link Hawk give, because if you'd have told me they went to the house of each one of them to do these interviews after the movie, they were like, hey, we got to fill like 45 more seconds, I would have believed it.
Bull Hurley, I thought, to not really be an actor, I thought he did awesome. I thought he did really good. Nothing was forced from him.
He was really good in this movie. He overacted to the extreme, especially in that final arm wrestling match where he's just
squealing
over and over.
And then, like, you stretch Stallone's promo, he's like, "Yeah, with me, it's really not about being a champion. It's about the truck. First place or not, I need this truck." I'm like, dummy. You got to win if you want the truck. That's the only way you're going to get it. I turned the hat backwards, and it's like a switch. It's like I'm becoming something I'm not, like a truck.
Or a good father.
Like a machine.
So Cutler shows up right before the main event to say, look, even though you've signed everything away, here's $250,000. Here's a brand new truck. Get the heck out of our lives.
Well, he sees how bad it's getting, that Michael is is not escaping, but is running away from home to get to him. So he knows he thinks he's doing what he has to do to get Lincoln Hawk to. Because I honestly believe that, yeah, Stallone is a piece of trash, but I think that Loja has told these lies for so many years that he believes it, and he thinks if he could just do this and be done with him forever, and it didn't work. Terry Funk found out it didn't work.
And Mr. Cutler is talking to you.
I'm through talking.
Yeah, so he tells him he doesn't want his money or his truck, and Terry Funk says you're not going anywhere, and then Terry Funk gets punched in the stomach and thrown through a glass door, but it's okay because Terry Funk is back up in the ending montage, and he's apparently okay.
He's down there looking right there.
So you get a 5-minute main event of Link Hawk and Bull Hurley.
My son, Ronnie, real quick, my son had a great question. I'm going to ask you.
All right.
What if one of these guys was left-handed?
Well,
you're disqualified.
Use your other hand. They flip a coin to see who gets to use their good hand.
Back
to your montage. The dude that got his arm broke. Do you remember? He was actually a German arm wrestler that happened during the tournament. Do you remember the fat guy that I always called John Candy? He's like,
yeah, he's got a really big face.
He was the original choice to be the big bad guy in this movie. He's an actual arm wrestler, and they did not go with him because the size difference between him and Stallone was too great. So then they went with Ox Baker, who was a total disaster, before they finally went with the guy that plays Bull Hurley right now. Fun facts.
When was Ox Baker in Escape?
83.
Okay,
4 years.
Okay,
but Dusty Rhodes had already run him out of Florida.
All right. I was just saying if they probably was going to try to pull him from that, because I don't think he was in anything else, was he?
Link Hawk cheats right off the bat. He's finna get beat, and he lets go of Bull Hurley's hand.
Hey, speaking of cheating, how about our boy Bosco getting screwed over?
Ready, go!
Harry Bosco?
Harry Bosco, who, by the way, was a referee in Karate Kid. They put his hands on top. Ready, go. Bam. It's over. Bosco says he wasn't ready. It don't matter. He's gone. On to the finals we go. But yeah, but you're right. Lincoln Hawk lets go when he's about to lose. And Bull was telling him the whole time. That's how easy it was for him. He's like, he's letting go. He's letting go.
And the stupid officials are like, he's not. He's not. He's not. Look, I could watch the ending scene of this movie on a 24-hour loop. It's amazing.
So intense.
It's great.
So intense. Everyone is screaming at the top of their lungs.
It's an asylum. They've somehow put every single crazy person in Vegas in a room. The crowd shots of these people being so pumped up. Just put yourself in the situation. Two guys are arm wrestling, and you just got random shots of people screaming like somebody just scored a 60-yard touchdown. It is insane. I can't help but laugh because Robert Loggia's like, because he's not the worst person in that place.
I know. The wheels are turning with him. He's a businessman. He's like, I got to get in on this somehow. There is a market for this.
He is nervous because he's got to leave that place. So Stallone wins and somehow gets custody of the kid, and it goes off.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about him doing the over-the-top move. Like, we didn't even.
It's right here.
What'd you think, though? Final thoughts. What'd you think of this movie?
Well, I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. I mean, it's an action movie, and somewhere along the lines, there was supposed to be a father-son bonding portion of this movie that doesn't happen.
I think there's supposed to be a
edit.
What?
It checks every box for me. I love this movie. I love this movie. If we're ranking this movie out of 10, it gets a 10 out of 10. If we're going thumbs up, it's double thumbs up. 10 out of 10 for this movie. I love it, and I own it on VHS and DVD and everything else.
I agree with you 1,000%. This movie is awesome. Over the top, 10 out of 10. One of Stallone's best movies. Don't care what you say. It is. It's up there. It's in top 10 for sure.
No, I mean,
and this should
who
get
watches Stallone
remade.
act? Who
This
watches
should get
Stallone act?
remade right now. I mean, come on, make it happen.
All the crap they're remaking, they could remake Over the Top easily.
Yes. Yes, and it would be awesome to bring back arm wrestling.
All right, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and apparently we're supposed to tell them to hit the share. I don't even know what that is. Sonny and share. Hit the share button. Blake, anything else?
No, that's it. Favorite character. You know, we went over all that, didn't we?
No.
I don't think we did. We went off on a rant.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we do.
Favorite character was Robert Loggia. I mean, he's the best actor in this movie. So I just like how persistent he was. We can bend the law.
I am the law.
Do your job. Find a loophole.
The Smasher was my favorite actor in the movie. Anybody just walks up to a random person and says, "Hey, I don't believe in anything. I'm the Smasher.
I don't believe in nothing. I'm the Smasher."
And then he got smoked. You gotta commend these guys because they're all roided up, they're jacked up, they're half nuts, insane. And after they get beat, they're okay. Bull Hartley's been talking crap for 90 minutes, and he gets beat.
Good sportsmanship. Yeah. I mean, and you're right. I don't know how Bull Hurley is able to talk so much trash while he's in the middle of a. I mean, I guess it'd be quiet, but you ain't nothing. And he's massive. There's no way Stallone beat him. He's massive.
My favorite scene is it's the montage after Stallone's won, and you just see Robert Loggia like
looking around. He won him over, Ronnie. He won him over.
Apparently they cut out.
Let's talk about the grand prize. $100,000. $100,000 cash is what they say. $100,000 cash
and a rig.
That's worth 200,000.
Maybe.
I don't know. That doesn't. You and I have argued about that before. It doesn't make much sense, but
just sell it and buy like 5 rigs.
He also put $7,000 on him to win at 20-1, so that's another $140K.
Plus, the government's going to take their 37%.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's another $100,000.
True. I think we've talked this one to the very end. Winner take it all.
That's over the top. Winner take it all. Loser takes the fall.